You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.
Hey everyone, Billy Rivera here, the hat trader at Elite Trading Live. So today, I'm here with another lesson, and it's actually a very important lesson for swing traders and day traders as well, right? But for swing traders, it's very, very important. And to me, it is the best reversal candlestick pattern that you ever see. And what we're going to be talking about is the hammer doji. But not only the hammer, we're going to be talking about the hammer, which there's two types of hammer dojis, right? Hammer doji and inversed hammer or reversed hammer. So people call this differently. So whatever the way you call it, it's it won't matter, right? And all it is a hammer upside down, right? So, and then a lot of people, a lot of new traders, they ignore, they focus so much like on indicators. And as you can see, my day, this is the data chart here on Baba, right? They focus so much on the EMAs that you can even read the charts, like too many EMAs, moving averages, and simple moving averages. They're so thick, too many indicators, oscillators, that it's just like you can't see the chart, right? And you know what? If you trade the charts, it's not gonna fail you as long as you focus on the charts. The minute that you just add all these EMAs, these oscillators, this and that, you know what? It only makes things harder, more difficult, and more complicated. And trading is simple. It's as simple as you make it, right? If you believe that trading is complicated, it's going to be complicated. But I'm gonna try to show you guys, to give you a really good insight here on what to look for reversals, and also show you guys when there's divergence, right? Because the hammer doji, right? The hammer doji usually, right? It technically it should be at the bottom, showing a sign of a reversal, right? And what happens is it traded, okay, and then it came down, and then okay, it held resistance, it held support, sorry, and then it popped up, and it closed higher than open, right? Because remember, high, low, close, because it closed right, and open, right? It closed right where it right where it closed, right where at the high of day. So let's go real quick here. And by the way, guys, this is not, I'm not talking about like penny stocks, right, or meme stocks. I'm talking about real stocks traded by real institutions. Nothing with 400,000 or 500,000 shares. Like look at the volume here. The current volume is like over 7 million shares traded. At the end of the year, right? That's a lot, right? So, okay, so let's just draw this on the chart, right? Because we're gonna get into the divergence, and then I'll show you guys like how to figure things out, right? Okay, in like hammer doji, it's reversal to the upside, RU, right? Inverted hammer, which you should usually see that on, supposedly, right? You see that on top. It's a reversal to the downside, right? So let me just draw this candle here a little. You know, I'm so sorry, I suck at drawing. Let me draw a nicer, at least give my best shot at drawing a nicer candle here. Okay, this one's cuter, right? Kind of cute, right? It's a reversal to the downside. So now I want you guys, see, I try to make things better and make things worse. Okay, now I want you guys with me to identify, right, as I do it myself, right? We're going to identify every hammer doji. Hammer. Only hammer. Just from this sign here to, yeah, only, and whatever we could see here, right? Here's one hammer. Here's another hammer doji, even though, right, it was a big bleeding day, so I would have taken this trade, but I wouldn't consider this, right? For you guys that are beginners or, you know, or even seasoned traders, but not so focused on that trade more indicators and type of thing, right? And remember, the hammer doji, we should see that at the bottom. That's when it means it's a reversal, right? So, and then we see another hammer doji here. This is just like a regular doji with a nice body, right? Another hammer doji there with a little wick at the top. Hammer doji here, hammer doji here. Let's just go over here. So, hammer doji here. This is more of a doji because it's kind of, how do it, like, how do I discern this? If the wick on top and bottom are like evenly sized or very closed, this is just like a doji, right? Hammer doji, hammer doji, hammer doji, hammer doji. So we haven't, okay, okay, so this is a hammer doji here with a big ass body, but yeah, let's just ignore this one here, right? Let's talk about the ones that are more clear, you know, hammer doji here, hammer doji here. So let's see if you have any missing hammer doji. Yeah, this is more, yeah, this is not a hammer doji. This is a hammer doji, right? So there's nothing else that I see here so far that is a hammer. This is not so much a hammer doji. But it's worth it, just like, you know, for, you know, divergence like basis, and so you guys know what to look for and what works the best, right? Just a doji here, just a doji, a cross doji, a doji. So we don't have any other, yeah, we do have this hammer doji here, which is not much of a hammer because the wick, like when the wick is small, like, so when the wick is small, I kind of try to ignore it, right? But I'll also give you guys like something that's a part of my system just for you guys to, right? It's a secret system. just to give you guys so you guys can discern, you know, okay, if it's 100% a reversal or not. Okay. So now let's count how many hammer dojis we had here. Right? So we had, oh, this is a hammer doji here. Yeah, but I said we should ignore it, right? Yeah, but let's just yeah, let's just yeah, I don't want to ignore it. Change my mind because it is a hammer. Yeah, it has a pretty big wake, even though the size of the hammer is not good. It's a crappy little hammer. Okay, another hammer doji here that I've missed. Right? Now let's just count the hammer dojis to see how many we got. Right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though this one, you could question this and wait to see like a better, right? A better place to take the trade, just because if you look to the left, there's no support, right? And then you'd have to dig into like a longer time frame. So let's just ignore this. Right? I want to give you guys like a good lesson, something that you guys are not going to find anywhere else. Right? So we counted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17 dojis, hammer dojis. So out of the 17 times, let's just recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 times, right? So out of the 18 times that we had a inverted hammer, right? I mean, that we had a hammer doji, excuse me. So how many times did it fail, guys? Right, let's just go over it and see how many times it failed. Oh, this is a hammer doji here. 19 times, right? So yeah, let me just do things right. Like I said, this lesson here, so for those of you that stay during the lesson, it's gonna be game changing. Those of you that just skip the video, too bad. You know, I'm doing my best on putting, you know, good content for you guys out there. So out of this 18 hammer dojis, how many hammer dojis failed here? Okay, so this one worked. This one worked. It gapped up, but not much. But we knew we had resistance here, right? So this is more of a end of day trade to open in the morning, right? So this one worked. This one failed. We had our first. I want to do this in red. We had the first one that failed here, right? One. This one worked. This one worked. Yeah, sort of. This one, it closed here. Yeah, this one failed, but it stayed within the same range, right? But let's say this one failed. We had a total of 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18. Had a third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, guys, out of 19, right? Total, right? So had a one that failed, 2 This one did not fail, right? It wasn't the best trade, but it closed here. It closed right here, and it opened right here, right? And like I said, if you had bought time, so this is what, right? Or you know, swing trading, so you got to give it some time, right? So, but still, right, from 77.64 to the high of 80.67. So on options, this is a lot of money, right? Even on equity too. So, right, it's pretty good. So not as good as options, but right. So, but as you guys could see, so we had the hammer here, and then we retested the bottom, and then boom. That's why I'll consider this that it worked. Okay, this one here failed. Okay, this one here, right? Because to me, this is a hammer doji, and this is a trade that I would have easily taken just by the way that like things got sucked right up here, right? It came down and got sucked right up, wiki. So I would have definitely taken this trade, 100%. Right, but let's look for more, like trades that didn't work. This one worked. This one, if you had given the proper standard risk, it would have worked, right? Because, right, it didn't take this low. Well, let's say this one failed. These two failed, right? Now, this one worked and this one failed to continue higher, right? I'm being very honest here, right, guys? I'm being very realistic, right? So, and what else failed here? Okay, that's it. So out of 19 hammer dojis that we had, right? So we had, so this was a green. So then this would make it 20. This would make it 20. Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, out of 20, it would be 20, right? So out of 20, how many failed? 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 20, 4 failed. So that's a 75%. All right, let me put it down here. That's a 75% win ratio. 75% win ratio, right? And we'll get into it. We'll get into, right, my system and things like that. But okay, the hammer doji. So 5 red. All right, now let's just go into the inverse hammer, right? So let me just, okay, so, and I'm gonna write it down now. So okay, the hammer doji. The hammer doji, we had 5 red. Now let's look, and then we'll look into divergent sky. So now let's look into inverted hammer. So the thing about the inverted hammer, guys, is it was designed, right? Steve Nissen, the guy who wrote the book Japanese Candlesticks. So basically, it has to be at the top. It has to be at the top, right? At the bottom, it does not count as a reversal, which is something that I completely ignore, right? But it has to be at the top to be reversal to the downside. Right? So now let's just mark all the inverse or reversed hammer, right? So first one, not the very best, but right, kind of wakey, but still okay. 2, 3, just do it closer. It's this candle here, fam. 3, okay. 4, of course, right? So 4, 4, 5, or we can just count this one as 1, right? Those guys took the trade, and you guys know institutions, right? They see the reversal, they see that there's a gap to be filled, and what they do is people take the trade here. That's why you got to give a standard risk, right? Let's say you took the trade here short, right? And then it opens up here, and then boom, it blows up. It takes you out, right? That's why standard risk is extremely important, right? But that one worked beautifully, the 2, right? But let's just count it as 1. So inverted hammer, inverted hammer, inverted hammer. So let's just try to boom, 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 boom. Okay, right there, right? So okay, right here, and this one, which is still happening, which is today, right? Today's day. So let's just ignore this one. Okay, Control Z, but this one is an inverse hammer. Okay, so if we were to, this one is an inverse hammer as well, inverse hammer. All right, let me see if I'm missing anything. I don't want to miss anything, right? So if we were to consider, okay, an inverted hammer a bearish trade, right? So a reversal to the downside. So let's see how many times this would have, right, messed up, right? Okay. First of all, let's see how many inverted hammers we had. Yeah, and I missed them here. So let's just okay, this is an inverted hammer as well. Consider this an inverse hammer. First hammer here. No, this one not so much, but this one, yeah. Oh, I'm starting to go into hammers here, so yeah, this one is yeah, those were the only 2. Okay, inverse hammer, inverse hammer. One right here. Got this one. This one not an inverse hammer. This one's just a gravestone doji, so it's not, doesn't mean anything. See, you see this more on penny stocks. So all right, so out of 1, not including today's price action, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many times has this failed? So we have a total of 13. So right, this one, it was 5 out of 20. Okay. The hammer doji, 5 out of 20. This one, 13 is the final number. Let's see how many times it failed. Right? So, okay, this one failed. 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 Jeez. This one, okay, this one worked. This one, I would say that this one worked as well, and this one worked as well, and this one worked. So out of 13, so we had only like 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. We only had 4 out of 13, right? Which is what? Which is about 33%. I would say like more like towards 35%, 33.5%, right? 33.7% win ratio. Let's say 34%, right? 34% win ratio. We had 4 out of 13, right? 34% ratio, win ratio. So guys, now here's the thing. So I'm going to continue this on I'm going to make this a two video lesson, right? So that way it's not too big, and then now we're going to get into divergence. So guys, if you guys please are enjoying the lesson, please like, share, subscribe with your friends, with your family, so with your enemy, whoever you know that trades stocks, just share with them, bless them, help them out. And like I said, this is a very, very, very important lesson. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in a bit. Part 2.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall